Welcome back, everybody. In this video I'm going to be showing you this rifle scope from Banggood.com. It is the Sniper NT 3.5 by 10 by 40 AOGL Rifle Scope. And I've opened the box and it seems to look like the real deal to me, so we're going to go ahead and unbox it. I'm going to stick it on my Savage 223 and we're going to see how it performs. And I'll tell you all the specs and details on it once I get it mounted on my rifle. So right now, let's take a look at what's inside here. Seems to be packaged pretty good, nice and tight in there. Here's the scope itself. It's got screw-on end caps, and it comes with an Allen wrench and lens cloth, and then obviously you have your user's manual in here as well. So let's go ahead and get this scope mounted on my rifle, and we'll talk about some of the scope specs and what I think of it. Okay, everybody, I've got the scope mounted onto the Savage 223 here, and I got a target set up out there at 50 yards. There's no holes in it right now. I covered up some of the holes that were in there from a couple weeks ago. And we're going to be shooting these Hornady 55 grain spire points. And we're going to see if we can't get a good group with it. I have it bore sighted, so I'm just crossing my fingers that it's on paper at 50 yards here. It should be pretty darn close. I usually have pretty good luck with my bore sighting. But what I'm really looking for is I want clarity in my scope. And obviously I want a good, a tight group, especially at 50 yards. And so we're gonna go ahead and load this up, and we're gonna shoot that target and see if we can't shoot a pretty tight group with it. Let's do it. That's set to 50 yards. We're on 10 power. Let's get her loaded up. Okay, I'll get this on the target and we'll send one down range. Okay, everybody, so I just shot a 4-shot group right here at 50 yards, and I put them all, right inside a nickel, which is really good, especially for the first shots after a bore sight. Usually you can't get it that close right away, but I was pretty fortunate. And that thing was literally sighted in with my first shot, which, like I said, doesn't happen very often. But just from the 4 shots that I've shot with this scope, I'm really impressed with the clarity of the scope, and I really love how fine-tuned the crosshairs are. The crosshairs are super fine, and I really like that. I can't stand crosshairs that are super thick and, almost cover your target that you're trying to shoot, especially when you're trying to shoot really tight groups. So I'm going to load a few more rounds in here and have a target set up at 100 yards, and we're going to see what kind of group I can put at 100 yards with it. Well, right here's our 50-yard target. There's a group. There's my thumb for reference. Within a 50-cent piece for sure. And then over there is our 100-yard target that the dog's already checking out. Group at 100 yards, which kind of opened up a little bit, but you know, that's not necessarily to blame on the scope. That's just might be my rifle's group at 100 yards. I have a pretty good rest shooting from the house up there. So in most cases, once you bore sight, you're going to be close, but you're not going to be right on. So in that case, you would spin your dials up or down or whatever to zero your rifle. And once your rifle's zeroed, you take your Allen wrench, unscrew that, pull that up, turn it to zero, push it down, put your Allen, screw your Allen bolt back in there, and then you've locked down your zero. And now you can, you'll be able to turn your MOA depending on, you know, your yardage and stuff like that, and dial in from then on. But it's easy to get your zero locked in and stuff like that. You do have to take this out. It's not one of those pull up zero stop ones, but pretty awesome. Then you have illuminated reticles where you can have red or green, red or blue. Is there green on there too? Yeah, there is green. So there's red, blue, or green. I didn't show you that through the scope because it's so bright outside, but in low light situations that'll be nice. Goes all the way up to 10 power, your eye focus, and then your focus for your different distances and stuff, which seems to work very, very good. Overall, heck of a scope for the price. I'm going to tell you some more details about it right now. Okay, I'm going to give you a few specifications of the scope here. Its magnification is 3.5 to 10, and it's got a 40 millimeter objective lens. The scope itself weighs 600 grams, and the length of the tube is 310 millimeters or 373 millimeters with the sunshade attached to it, and that comes with a scope as well. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. And their tube diameter is 25.4 millimeters, and your click value is 1/4 MOA for each click. And your parallax setting is 5 to infinity. You're also looking at a second focal plane in this scope. And I don't think you can choose that. In a lot of scopes you have the choice, but I think this one only comes with a second focal plane. This scope is waterproof, fog-proof, and shock-proof, which we're going to be testing out this spring. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with that scope, to be honest with you. For $100, heck of a scope. I'll test it out more thoroughly come this spring when the woodchucks start coming out. I'll take that rifle with me, and you'll see that scope quite a bit more come this spring. And we'll test it out in the elements and the rain, and let it rattle around a little bit in my gator, and we'll see if it still continues to perform. But if you guys are interested in checking that scope out, I'm going to put a link in the description below. It'll take you right to banggood.com. And don't hesitate to check out a lot of their other products. They have a lot of sales going on, and they have all kinds of different optics, and pretty reasonable prices on all of it. But appreciate everybody watching. We'll have a lot more videos coming shortly. Take it easy, everybody.